Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and also Rumble. We want to welcome in our newer Rumble audience. If you haven't already, follow us on that uncensored video platform at rumble.com/CowboysTV. Now, what we're doing today is our fan-led mock draft. 4 options on the board for you guys in round 1. We'll sprinkle this in throughout today's show all the way to the end here. 4 options because that's how many poll options I have. So you can vote in the comments. Please do. DL for Drake London, KG for Kenyon Green, TB for Treylon Burks, and NB for Nakobe Dean. In the poll right now, pinned on YouTube, Treylon Burks has 28%. Kenyon Green is the majority vote getter right now at 52%. Drake London, who I actually have the highest on this list, is at 8%, at least on my personal board. And Nakobe Dean down there at 11%. I wanted to get one defender in there, and I wanted to keep it more realistic of who the Cowboys take, although I doubt they end up taking Dean. Now, we do have some, in true democracy fashion, you can pay to vote if you want. If you put in a $1 super chat, you actually get 2 votes total. So we have the numbers on our end on the YouTube side beyond just the percentages so we can make the math work. So this, again, keeping the math consistent, $5 super chat, you get 10 votes total. So you can stuff the ballot box for a player who is on the option board for the pin poll. Like, I know everyone would maybe want Chris Olave. He's not available. He was gone. I have the PFN sim pulled up. He's not available. So I want you guys to put that player's name if you super chat. So again, super chat voting if you want to boost your own votes because there's somebody that you want. But also remember to vote in the comment section and in the pinned poll. Just under 200 have done so. We're not going to make the call on the round 1 pick until after we get through the rumors and news because we know not everyone clicks right away. So we want to give you guys time and a chance to click that. 51% right now for Kenyon Green, 27% for Treylon Burks, 8% for Drake London, 14% for Nakobe Dean. So Kenyon Green is the favorite as we sit right now, and we will check in. Someone said, no way London makes it that far. I don't think he does either. But remember, we didn't think CeeDee Lamb would be there in round 1. Didn't think Trayvon Diggs would be there in round 1. So weird stuff happens. I'm at the mercy of the draft sim here. And maybe if, someone doesn't run a great timeline.
CeeDee Lamb would never drop that far.
It's true. Now, Jerry Jones, the other day, a part of his big announcement of blockchain.com, crypto stuff, he said he wanted to trade up. Kind of, sort of. He went very Jerry on that one. So name a player who you guys want to trade up for, as we'll let the votes continue to come in here. It's okay. We can go to Jeremiah's Super Chat here. I can explain. And we can also do that one for the mailbag, too. Kyle Hamilton from Toxic Tom Downey burner account. Okay. Keep those votes coming. I'm talking about draft picks. So Debo works, but not quite what I was aiming for there, Nate. Jordan Davis in there, etc. Jeremiah says, #Cowboys, KG or ZJ or TL, which I assume is Kenyon Green, Zion Johnson, Tyler Linderbaum. Kenyon Green is the one available here, Jeremiah. You want offensive line. I get it. So we will add 2 votes to the Kenyon Green tally, which is down to 49%, not factoring in the extra bonus here from Jeremiah. So Treylon Burks making up some ground, 27%. Drake London there at 10%, and Dean at 13%. Someone also said they want to trade it for Charles Cross. That makes sense. I think that would be their target or someone in that mold.
Could you imagine if the Cowboys actually did this? They maybe not the first round, but like a 3rd round pick. They're like, all right, these are the 4 guys on the board. You vote on Twitter.
That definitely wouldn't just be an absolute troll. That's why you have to have the limited one so you don't have a kicker in round 1. That's why you got to do it there. Other write-in votes here for trade up guys. I see a Kenny Pickett, which is weird. Makes no sense. Jordan Davis. Ooh, Derek Stingley in there. I like that one. Someone's writing in Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I loved him last year. He was really good for the Browns, by the way. A super chat has come in here from Toxic Tom Downey burner account. If we got our own crypto, what would it be called? Cowboy coin? Right? Like, don't know what it would be. Just like Cowboy coin? Jiraiya coin? maybe.
Maybe disappointment bucks.
Cap coin. Cap
You're
coin,
onto
disappointment
something.
bucks. You can look underneath the table. I kind of showed up a little bit there.
Disappointment coin.
Yeah, disappointment coin. Ooh, clown crypto. That one hurts. Toxic Tom Downey says cap coin in there. Jerry's coin, Jariah coin. It's not bad. We will also, because I saw this on social media and I know how people get. You see that Dez was working out again, Chugs? Oh, you do know the guy was working out with him?
Yeah, For those of you who don't know, I also cover high school football in the DFW area. Mm-hmm. So my boy Jake Strong, quarterback for Northwest High School, was throwing with Dez.
Yeah. That's part of it is like, yeah, Dez looks great. He's going against high schoolers. Like, should we really be reading that much into that? Like,
he's
beating children. Well, he's beating children in routes. Ooh, saved it. That was bad.
Ooh, almost went Adrian Peterson.
Would you? He said it, not me. Don't blame me. Don't blame me, bosses. Would you sign Dez? I do see some yeses in here. I agree. Toxic Tom, Danny Burner count. What year is it? He's played 6 games in 4 years. But Dez will always have a nice heart or a nice place in the memory of Cowboys fans for all that he did. He was a good football player, great football player. Got to sign Jalen Smith one in there too. Yeah, at least Dez cares. I will not apologize for that one. That one I know is right. Super chat here from Mark coming in says, Tom, do a poll and ask, should Tom be our new GM? I bet 95 plus are in favor. I would agree. I think that'd be awesome. Any strong rumors on FA signings for the boys? No trade up, too many holes. Jeremy, I'm going to bonk you so hard for that. Being horny police over there, or sending you to horny police over there. I know there's nothing strong right now. Really, most of the rumors are quiet in free agency. After draft, stuff might start picking up again. Elijah Williams says, do you think George Pickens slides to 53? I would be a bit surprised if George Pickens got past 42 or 43. Colts and Falcons at 42, 43. And even the Browns at 44, I think one of those teams will take him if he's not already gone.
Do you think the Cowboys are more likely to trade up in the second round?
We're going to talk about that, Jeremy, because I think that actually makes more sense. With the way the board, I think, will fall, I think it makes more sense to look into a potential round 2 trade up. So keep the votes coming and make the pick for us. Who are you going to take in round 1? This is the fan-led Cowboys mock draft for round 1, the 4 available options. I've got the sim pulled up here. I'll make note of just the last couple picks. George Karlaftis went 23. Chris Olave went 22. Daxton Hill went 21. Trevor Penning is also up. There we go. Go to that one. Perfect there, producer Jeremy. Jamison Williams. There was a trade. The Bears went up to get Trevor Penning. Shocking. Matt Corral went 19. Thanks, Saints. Andrew Booth, Daxton Hill, Chris Olave, George Karlaftis were all... Could have had Karlaftis. Could have had Olave. I wonder if Olave had been on here and if all 3 receivers were there, or maybe it's Olave instead of London, how that could have changed it. But we're at the mercy of the sim.
I think if it falls where there's 3 wide receivers for the Cowboys in the first round, I think you pass on them, right? Because then that means that there will be more wide receivers in the second.
Available in the second. Exactly right. I think that's a pretty good logic on that front. So keep your votes coming. Vote in that pin poll. Burks, London, Green, and Dean in there. Jeremiah, I see your super chat. We're going to get to that in the mailbag. It's a good question, so I want to keep that available for you guys. So we'll get to your question here in a little bit on the mailbag. But in the meantime, if you haven't already, like the video right now. What are we at, Jeremy? We're at 57. Okay. We'll see how it goes. I got to refresh here because my stream got a little bit behind. I got 59 on my end. I'm going to click live. 63. Got a chance at it, Chuggy. Got a chance at it. There you go. 63. Mark, I see your super chat. We'll get to that. Oh, we got it. We did? Yeah. Oh, no, I missed the screenshot, though. Oh! 69 likes. I had it. I was excited about it, and I was clicking the command Shift 4 to do it, and it jumped to 76. I missed it. All right, that's all good. Keep the likes coming. We got almost 300 people watching live right now. Here's what's coming up next on the Cowboys Report, folks. We're going to go to the news and rumors. Jerry Jones went full Jerry, spoiling the Cowboys' plans again. We'll also do our mailbag, so Super Chat from Jeremiah and Mark. We'll get to those throughout today's show. We'll mix in the fan-led mock draft picks, discuss it a little bit, and then move on to round 2. At the back end, we'll also finish it up, and then we'll have a video breaking it down in the picks. But get your votes in right now at the pinned poll. Burks, London, Green, and Dean are your options, with Kenyon Green are the options at this point. So keep that coming if you haven't already. Vote. Go do it right now. Again, you can rig the ballot box to stuff it if you super chat. $2 for one.
Just like the 2020 election.
Guys, disavow, producer Jeremy. Cowboys Report Live coming at you right now. This is the Dallas Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, and if you haven't already, make sure you also subscribe to us on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. That way you can get every pick that happens in the 2022 NFL Draft, which could end up being a wild one. And maybe it includes the Cowboys wheeling and dealing. Jerry Jones, as part of his press conference at his really weird blockchain.com thing, which we'll get to later on here, Jerry says, he wants to trade up in the draft. Now, he mentioned both day 1 and day 2. I will make note, and this is important, I believe, the Cowboys have not traded up in the first round since Morris Claiborne, despite what Jerry said. So allow me to break down the actual quote here from Jerry. Quote, I would trade up in this draft. Just going in as much as you can say about it until you see what's there and who's on the other end of the line. Yeah, I would trade up. Since we're down as low as we are in those first 2 or 3 rounds, if we had a chance to, and somebody we really coveted was sitting at the bottom, like Frederick, we'd trade up and get him. Well, here's the problem. The Cowboys didn't trade up for Travis Frederick. That is not what happened. And I don't think that Frederick was a super high grade on their board because they traded down and took a player who most thought was more of a 3rd-round pick. Of course, in the end, the Cowboys were right. So I am normally fluent in Jerry speak. I don't know what he means here. Did he just try to mention a great player and use that as evidence to trade up? Or did he actually mean trade up down the board? Is it like the upside down where he means the opposite? I don't know. I think he means maybe more likely trading up in round 2 or round 3 as opposed to trading up in round 1. I'll spend some more time on that here in a moment. But the Cowboys have the ammo, especially on day 2 or day 3. If there's somebody that they see sliding in the back end of round 2, back end of round 3, back end of round 4, they can jump up and get a player who is an outlier on their board relative to everybody else. So the ammo is there. We'll run through some examples of what types of different trades the Cowboys could make. But first, what did Jerry mean? Because his quote is nonsensical, kind of like circumcising the mosquito a little bit. What did Jerry mean? That's a real Jerry quote, by the way, Chugs. Don't laugh. Type U for he meant trade up and he wants to get higher in the draft. D for trade down like he did with Travis Frederick. Or G for it's Jerry gibberish in the end. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get that ad break here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and try to tell me what you think Jerry meant. Now, I'll let you guys in on the draft secret here. Maybe not secret, just it's a thing. Teams will work out a lot of these trades and the parameters of them before the drafts. They won't pick up the phone and try to work everything out. If there's a player the Cowboys have in mind that if they start to see slide, they might have a deal worked out with a team earlier on and say, this is the parameters. If this guy is there, we want to move up. And if the guys you want aren't there, or there's a lot of guys you want there, you could move down. So they'll work that out in advance and have those parameters kind of set up. So when it comes to trades, 3 of them to keep an eye out for, and we'll do a whole video on this later on, so make sure you guys are subscribed. If you want to move up in round 1 and keep your 2nd round pick, these are all based on the trade value chart, how the value works, plus or minus some stuff, weird years, sometimes it's a little bit more, a little bit less. This is the rough estimation. 1st and a 3rd gets you to about pick number 18. first and a second gets you inside the top 14 or so. If you want to move down, despite what you might get offered by some of the draft sims out there, this is a little bit more in line with the value. Chiefs jump up, you slide back, and you pick up a late third. Depending on how the board falls, that might be the ideal outcome for you if a bunch of your receivers and guards are there. They might not be there in the end. What you could also do is get aggressive and move up in the second round, which I think might be a very real outcome for this organization, in large part because the way the board, I think, will fall, early run on receivers, and you might want to jump ahead of other teams like the Colts, like the Falcons, like the Browns, to go get a Pickens, a Sky Moore, a Mechie, someone who's sliding down a little bit. Second and a third gets you just outside the top 40. That's a lot, and this is why, in general, I like trading down a lot more than I do trading up. Now, how many NFL draft trades do you think the Cowboys will make? I had said I doubt they keep all of their picks last year, and they didn't. They added more picks, so I was partially right, but also not on that standpoint. So let me know, how many draft trades will the Cowboys make this year, not including previous ones already made? Now, we'll be live for the entirety of the 2022 NFL Draft. Day 1, Day 2, Day 3, all 7 rounds, every pick broken down. I'll be anchoring the coverage on the Chat Sports YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, go subscribe. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Coming up next, we'll get into the Dez Bryant reunion idea, hope for some of you. Maybe delusion mixed in there. So we'll break it all down, what's going on. But first, I wanted to mention a potential trade target as part of the whole Jerry wants to move up situation. Louis Riddick, the ESPN analyst, mentioned Evan Neal as a trade-up target for the Cowboys. And I would love to add Evan Neal. He was not a 30 visit for the Cowboys because he's not going to be there at pick 24. But if you want to start wheeling and dealing to go get your left guard for now and your left tackle of the future, Evan Neal is maybe the dream pick for the Cowboys. Really great production, great play at Alabama, good run stopper. He's played all over the line. You give him a year or two at the same spot, that consistency is going to mean a lot for him. And people his size are not supposed to move the way that he does. He is a top 5 player in this year's class. What you would be able to do is plug Evan Neal day 1 in at left guard. That takes care of your short-term need there. And long-term, now you've got your left tackle of the future. And when Tyron Smith gets hurt again, you could even kick Evan Neal out there on the left side. So, look, I love the idea. Here's the problem. You have to move way, way, way up to pull this off. The cost of getting Evan Neal, even if he slides a little bit, it's tough to foresee. So let's play through a scenario where Jags take Aiden Hutchinson, Lions take, let's say, Trayvon Walker. Texans go edge, Kayvon Thibodeau. Jets say, we don't want to tackle. We'll take Sauce Gardner. Giants take Ika Mekwonu, right? Panthers then say, you know what? We're going to take a QB, Pickett or Willis. Giants go, let's get Kyle Hamilton. The Falcons then are on the board at number 8. They don't need to tackle, and their team sucks. But the Seahawks and Jets, I can't see Evan Neal getting past 9 in really almost any scenario. And I think it's a bit unlikely he makes it down to 9 anyway. But we'll play through the scenario here. Maybe this is around the range where a team wants to trade up for Evan Neal to jump the Jets who could take him, jump teams like picking at number 11. The Commanders probably not, but the Vikings 12, Texans at 13, Ravens, Eagles. You'd probably want to get up to around this range, right? Here's the cost, and because it's such an expensive jump, there's a lot of different routes you could go. Like you could go a second, a third, and a fourth, or plus your first. Like there's a lot of different packages here. This is probably around what it would be in value-wise. Cowboys aren't giving up quite enough in this scenario. So it gets you Evan Neal, but it costs you your first-round pick this year, your first-round pick next year, your third-round pick, and that's if the Falcons say, yeah, we'll take a little bit less. And if you're Atlanta, you could use the Cowboys as leverage to, say, the Seahawks, get them to come up one spot to secure their guy. So I love the idea of Evan Neal. I just think it's not that likely. I think if a guy like Charles Cross, who the Cowboys brought in for a pre-draft visit, if he begins to slide, well, that could make sense to the Cowboys to jump up into the mid to late teens at that point. A bit more plausible, I think. So name a player in the comment section who you guys want to trade for. Sound off right now. Oh, let's talk Dez. I can't. It's 2022 and we're still doing this, right? Background here is that Dez Bryant has been training again after not playing at all last year. And his highlights, as they always do, it's why he posts them, got the social media going, right? Of like, oh, I saw other people like, Dez can still be a red zone threat. Can he, though? I get that Dez is making great catches. As producer Jeremy has informed me, because he knows the quarterback Dez has been training with, or at least on the highlight he was, these are high schoolers, guys. That's who Dez is beating on routes. Like, yeah, he looks great. High schoolers. He ain't going up against Jalen Ramsey out there. And I will forever love Dez. I don't want to make this an anti-Dez campaign or whatever, but we're talking about a player with 6 games and 6 catches in 4 years. That's not appealing. Now, I do think a better red zone threat could actually help the Cowboys. I like CeeDee Lamb. Gallup might miss some games, or maybe some is an understatement, but he's going to miss some time, I believe. James Washington is on a cheap 1-year deal. He's not a long-term piece. So you can talk yourself in to adding Dez and saying, this is our red zone guy. And I got more thoughts on why, to be blunt, I don't really think this is a likely or great idea for the Cowboys beyond Dez retiring as the Cowboy, which should absolutely happen. But I want to hear from you guys. Would you go out and would you sign Dez Bryant? Can't believe we're doing it once again. Sound off for me in the comments section. Why for yes, you would go out and get Dez, and for no, you would not. I do regret to inform everyone, which shouldn't be news, but here we are. Dez ain't what he was. He's just not. He's not the guy he was at his prime, where he was a top 5 or so receiver in the NFL, a monster after the catch, red zone guy. The decline has set in. He made it back to the NFL. That was awesome. But he's barely played in 4 years. That guy isn't someone you really want. I would spend draft picks on the wide receiver spot more than anything else. And you might say, well, what if he's your receiver 5? Cool. He can be a red zone guy. Here's the problem. Those back end of the roster receivers, they need to be special teams guys. I need them on coverages, on gunners, on blocking. It's not Dez's game. You're not going to make him your return man at age 33, 34 this year, I believe. So the NFL is ageist in the end. And older guys like Dez, you've seen with Adrian Peterson to an extent, they just kind of get forced out as they get older because their skill set does not suit a backup position, unfortunately. Now, if you want daily Dallas Cowboys videos, subscribe to us here at the Cowboys Report. We are almost to 127,000 subscribers. I want to double up the Commanders by the end of the draft. We'll see if it happens or not. Hit that big red button and subscribe right now. Some news for you guys as well. Hunter Niswander has been cut by the Dallas Cowboys today. Shouldn't be a huge surprise. Niswander, who missed most of last year with injury and was away from the team, he was never going to beat out Brian Anger as a punter. So it certainly makes sense for the Cowboys to let him go try to find a different destination, and they'll be looking at a kicker via draft or undrafted free agency as well. So unfortunately, you can spam it in the comments section as well. Hunter Niswander is now the latest Cowboys legend who is no more with the organization. I did want to spend briefly the Cowboys' big major business announcement. Blockchain.com is the cryptocurrency platform sponsor. This was teased as major business news. If you follow me on Twitter, I tried to warn you guys, hey, it's business. There's nothing that's actually of value that's going to come out here, and that was exactly what ended up happening. Never expect actual news from the, hey, press conference coming up in 2 days. It's not how it works. Every time they do this, it's always a sponsor. I'm actually glad the Cowboys slapped business on there. If you're expecting curtains to block out the sun, you were always going to be disappointed there. That's not how the real football-relevant news goes down in Dallas. All right, one last chance for your votes. And we're not going to spend too much time on it here because I think this race has been run, Jeremy. Treylon Burks, 22%. Drake London, 12%. Kenyon Green, 24%. And Nakobe Dean has 13%. I think it's over, bud. I think Kenyon Green is going to be. We'll give you guys another 30 seconds or so, but it certainly seems like this is going to end up being the pick here for the Dallas Cowboys. Let me get organized here. All right, give you guys 30 seconds. I'll shout out the list for once we get there, and I'll put it on the poll side here because I don't have the listicle pulled up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We can call it. Kenyon Green is the pick here for the Dallas Cowboys. Round 1, number 24 overall in the fan-led mock draft. This is the plug-and-play starter on the offensive line. That certainly is a huge area of need for the team to take care of that need that they have of plugging him in at left guard and helping protect Dak Prescott. So that is the pick in round 1. Now we're going to get organized for round 2. I'm running the sim right now. Some notable... Ooh, this one's going to hurt, Jeremy. Off the board, 3 picks earlier, Jahan Dotson. He slid, but he wasn't there. So I'm going to organize this. Notable players on the board here. Alec Pierce from Cincinnati is there. I'm going to throw him in here too. Sky Moore from Central Michigan is on the board. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, Boye Mafe is on the board. King Shadow's having fun with his own sim. We'll get to that. So that's the edge rusher from Minnesota. What else we got here? Let's go a different position. Keep it separate. I'll throw him in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw him in there. Sam Williams, the edge rusher out of Ole Miss. Since we know... Actually, wait. No, don't do that one because I don't want to have too many at the same position. How about this one? How about Jalen Petrie, safety from Baylor? Alec Pierce out of Cincinnati is on the board. Sky Moore, receiver from Central Michigan. This poll is going up right now here. We've got Jalen Petrie. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to... no Petrie. I'm canceling Petrie. We're going to do Christian Harris in there. Christian Harris is going in instead of Petrie. Sky Moore, Alec Pierce, Boye Mafe, and Central Michigan. Or sorry, Western Michigan. My bad. That's why I messed it up. Sky Moore. Sorry. We're doing it on the fly, folks, and you're seeing some of the new graphics, so bear with us. Boye Mafe, the edge rusher from Minnesota. We'll do Christian Harris in there since I know some of you guys want a linebacker. And then we'll throw in Alec Pierce from Cincinnati. So the receivers are there in a way that they aren't always on these sims. So ignore the one poll that I deleted quickly because I messed it up there. It's up there now. Christian Harris, linebacker, Alabama. Sky Moore, wide receiver, Western Michigan. Boye Mafe, edge rusher from Minnesota. And Christian Harris, linebacker from Alabama. I see people asking about Christian Watson. He did not last. He is off the board. Someone asked about Brandon Smith. I am surprised that he is also off the board. Not what I expected from that standpoint. Where did Watson go? Watson went 32 to the Lions. Let's see. A lot of Sky Moore votes in there here. Someone's hoping for Sam Williams in the third. Maybe. We'll see that the sim makes it possible. There are a lot of edges on the board. So here are your options. Great job here, producer Jeremy. SM for Sky Moore, AP for Alec Pierce, BM, gross, for Boye Mafe, and CH for Christian Harris. Now, we are always at the mercy of the sims. With that in mind, Jeremy.
Is this the first time we've seen Mr. Safety himself veer away from the early safety pick? What are we doing here, Tom?
It is.
You're Mr. Safety.
It is.
Brett's not even here today.
If Jaron Curse wasn't on the board, I'd have been screaming or if they hadn't re-signed Curse, I'd have been screaming for Petrie. Like, yelling at the top of my lungs to bring him in.
Hey, Tom's just a fake. He's a fake safety lover.
Safety isn't his big a need anymore. It's not.
Hey, this guy, just like Drake, fake love. He's got fake love towards the safeties.
Sky Moore is leading the way right now with 60% of the votes. Boye Mafe has 27%. Alec Pierce has 8%. Christian Harris has 5%. So I'm thinking it's gonna be Sky Moore. But we'll give you guys time. We know that there
Quick
are.
question.
What's up, Chugs? Sip some of
For
my gross-looking water.
Sky Moore and Alec Pierce, their play styles. Which one do you obviously? We can't say one's better than the other. Which one's play style do you think fits better with the Cowboys?
It depends on how you're going to use Lamb. If you're going to make Lamb an outside receiver, I'd probably go Sky Moore and give him your slot, your route running duties there. I think he's got a great release package. If you want the bigger bodied vertical threat, Alec Pierce is your guy. I like Pierce a lot, and this might be me being crazy, but I think he's a better prospect than Christian Watson is. So just throwing that out there in the end. Early poll results definitely favoring Sky Moore. We'll give you guys a chance here to change it as well. Remember the Super Chat rules as it relates today. Somebody already helped boost Kenyon Green, but he was going to win anyway. $1 Super Chat equals 2 votes. So $5 equals 10 votes. That process continues, math and whatnot there. $100 is 500 votes, and you pretty much get to pick of those 4. So if you want to, you can totally rig the election and steal it. You can Putin it. That's true. Just remember to put your player's name in. Otherwise, it's not going to go well. So King Shadow super chatted $2 and Sky Moore stop the count. That's 4 more votes in favor of Sky Moore. So that's not going to be reflected in the pin poll results right now, but we have the technology to do the math, so we'll make that happen. We will get to our mailbag here. We'll do mailbag number 1, then we'll announce pick 2 and get ready for pick number 3 as well. So get it going for me. Use hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat to get on the show. I see a bunch of supers from Jeremiah and Mark again, and Randy and Nick and King and Roger Moore. I see one on Verone McKinley. We'll get to that. Super Chat will put you on the show. If you use hashtag Cowboys, that'll get you in the queue for producer Jeremy to see your question. And if you're lucky, pick it. Just remember, he's an Eagles fan, and sometimes weird things happen from that part. So it's true. So get those questions in using hashtag Cowboys. You guys are watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. I am our draft expert here at Chat Sports. If you want more pure NFL-focused coverage, check out the Chat Sports YouTube channel at youtube.com/chatsportstv. That link will be in there in the comments and in the description. Our first question, Jeremiah Early. If TL, meaning Tyler Linderbaum, falls in the mid-teens, what would it cost straight up with still keeping our 24 this year and then still get the guard at 24? Okay. So you're trying to jump up from 56 to 16. Basically, it's not going to happen. Teams don't do that because it's just such an absurd. So I'll play some math here. Let's say it's 20-ish. You get to there, or 18, 19. You're giving up your first next year, your second this year, and at that point, you're still looking at needing to give up your third and your fourth. So in probably a second, it's no one's going to accept it for you to get an extra second. What you could try to do is take Linderbaum at 24, and if the guard slides back end of round 1, try to go way up, but you're still probably going to be moving a future first in the end. From Mark, how far down could we trade and safely nab one of the top 2 guards if they happen to drop? I think we need some more higher picks in round 2 to 3. In the event that both guards are by some chance on the board, you can't move down very far. And the reason why is I'm looking at starting at pick number 21. Teams that could, not all of them will, but teams that could take a guard. The Patriots at 21. I don't think they do. That's a team to watch. The Packers at 22 and at 28. Dark horse is the Cardinals. I kind of doubt it. Then Dallas 24. Titans at 26. Prime guard destination. Bucks are a dark horse at 27. So if there's a guard gone already, I think you got to take them at where your spot is, and I don't think that both guards will be there. I hope I'm wrong there, but that's going to kind of be your key element there. From Drizzy Darrell, trade for Deebo Samuel. There it is. Look, I would love to add a player like Debo, even though I have doubts about the coordinator's ability to maybe maximize him the way that the Niners did. There are some issues here. Debo wants to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, which of course he does. That's very logical to me. So the trade would cost probably about what Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill cost you, your first and your second, and then you're going to pay Debo Samuel, even if you're lucky, let's say $28 million a year. I think Catboy's doing that? Because I don't. I don't think Catboy has any interest in paying any receiver $25 to $30 million. Like, just no way. I don't see any scenario in which that actually goes down. So, look, I understand the desire to add a player like a Debo Samuel, to trade for somebody, but I think the cost in the end is just, it's going to be too exorbitant for, frankly, what I think many of us are willing to pay given the needs they have elsewhere on this roster. So I'm all for the conversation, but I would be surprised if the Cowboys ended up being aggressive and trying to trade up trade for a player like Debo. When it comes to trades, though, let me know in the comments section. Name a player who you want to trade for. This is the pinned comment on today's video. You know the deal by now. If the ad break comes, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. For Mark, any realistic defensive lineman you take over the two guards at 24? Good question. I don't like Karlaftis that much. Now, if you lost Tank Lawrence, I'd be singing a very different tune, but I want some real burst off the edge. I don't think any of the edges beyond Karlaftis are there or worth it, although he'll be around top 32 on my board. I would consider Jordan Davis. You could talk me into Devontae Wyatt, but I think I'd still take the guard just from a pure need perspective, and they won't have that difference of grades to justify going pure BPA at that point. Randy Stitz, Cowboys are not trading up in the first round. Will cost too much capital. I do feel trade up in the third or second round with 4 fifth-round picks. I would not be surprised if come day 2, Dallas gets aggressive. They do have those extra fifth-rounders. Not going to move them up that much in the second, a little bit in the third. But I think that day 2 range makes sense where they'll get aggressive. Remember, they once moved up for Tank Lawrence. Maybe something similar happens this year. King Shadow 24 doing a mock right now on PFM and Tyler Linderbaum. Maybe it is PFF. No, I know that PFN moved Linderbaum down on their rankings recently. Welcome to the nature of the Sims. Sometimes they're bad, and it's just kind of the nature of, yeah, the guy's not going to be there in real life, but he was in the sim, so he broke it. But every year there's guys we don't think are going to be there and end up being there. Nick Lanham, a center in the later rounds to keep an eye on. I don't know how later rounds will be, but I like Luke Fortner a lot out of Kentucky. That position flex of center guard makes it really interesting. Jeremy mentions Donovan West. I think that's a good later round name. I didn't love him. Didn't test the way I needed to for a guy with not the best power, but his 4th, 5th round is probably around right for him. So I like Fortner a lot. This center guard class, someone mentioned Cole Strange. It's a good one too. I think he goes a little bit earlier though. I don't have a great feel for how it falls. I don't like my board right now has a couple round 1-ish guys, Green and Johnson and Linderbaum, and then like 1 or 2 second round guys and like 5 third round guys. So the board isn't quite right if you don't go guard in round 1. You almost have to want to wait till round 3. King Shadow says Sky Moore, stop the count. He would love to get Sky Moore. I'm sure many of you guys would like to as well. I think Moore goes round 1 or early round 2, maybe not fall all the way down to 56, but who knows? The draft, weird stuff happens. If you haven't already, folks, make sure you're subscribed to Chat Sports. That is our core YouTube channel. Our NFL coverage is all right there. We'll be live for the entirety of the NFL draft. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Roger Moore, what round would you take Verone McKinley? So McKinley is going to be the type of player who I think coaches will like a lot more than the scouts. And he's a very intelligent player who is normally around the ball in the right spot. but his size and athletic abilities are lacking. So in the 4th, I think that's when you start having that conversation. But I don't think that the traits are what you want out of a premium pick, unfortunately. I like the player and the person, but I think he's just a little bit limited. Zach Taylor says Dicker, the kicker, who, by the way, I think he's better as a punter. Hot take. All right, J Buzz. Trade for Cooks, draft 2 O-lineman early, got to reinforce the wall. I'm on board with drafting offensive line early and often. Cool. Let's just take good ones. It can be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round, but you got to get help there. The Texans have extended Brandon Cooks, so no chance they trade him. That dream is dead. He's sticking around in Houston. Steven Jones has given us a $5 super chat. And I know this is an imposter, not because the name is misspelled, but because Steven Jones giving away money, Catboy would never. But Steven Jones, with a V, I appreciate your super chat, my friend. From Skitscat, as highly unlikely as it is, what's the possibility of the Cowboys trading up deep for a top 10 and snagging Garrett Wilson? I mean, I think highly unlikely is a great way to describe it. I think you worry about the teams in the 8 to 11 range going receiver, right? Like the Falcons, the Jets, and the Commanders all showing interest in receivers. To get in the top 10, you're talking about moving your first-round pick next year. Like I don't think that's going to go down in the end. Buckle up, 409. Could the Cowboys get Quinn Williams or Mekhi Becton from the Jets? I think your path to, I'm saying there's a chance here, is if the Jets take a first-round pick at one of those two spots. If they take Jordan Davis or Devontae Wyatt, maybe you could get Quinn Williams, who I am a huge fan of. I think he's one of the better young receivers in the NFL, or better young defensive linemen, in the NFL. But he would cost you your first and more. But I do it. I also don't think the Jets go D lineman. Becton, who I think that team is upset with, and his weight issues he had last year, 2020, when he barely played, if they take a tackle in round 1, like, they're going to, I think, move on from Mekhi Becton. Like, they're talking about extending George Fant right now and making him your left tackle. That would then leave open a tackle at right tackle draft pick. They have 2 guards already. So if they take a tackle early, there's a real chance Becton's done. So that might actually be the more realistic name. And if you worry about the weight, I get that. Could you play him at guard? He's pretty big for a guard. I don't know about that one. So I think Becton, though, is more realistic, and in theory could be your left tackle of the future. So pick one of these two for me. It's a good question, my friend. QW for Quinnen Williams, MB for Mekhi Becton. Let me know in the comments. Muology, a.k.a. Jay, says, tell Mitch in your best Peter Griffin voice, shut up, Meg. By the way, can't wait to see Terrence Steele take another step this year. Tom, best host. Thank you, Jace. Yeah, hopefully Steele does take that step forward. The Cowboys are counting on it since they said bye to Lyle Collins. Steele was not great as an undrafted rookie. Major step forward this year. I hope that continues. DeLunatic. After the Nashawn Wright pick, will Quinn get another one in Sam Williams? Go Cowboys. That seems to be the guy that I think Dan likes a lot this year. I think he's actually a good fit for what the Cowboys want to do. If you can trust the off-the-field stuff that's very real. Wasn't just the Nashawn Wright pick, by the way. He was pretty involved in the Kelvin Joseph pick, too. But Quinn was the one who worked out Sam Williams. That is definitely a name to keep an eye out for come day 2 of the NFL Draft. Gabriel Vallis, what do you think about wide receiver David Bell? Pick 56. No. Not at pick 56. I have a late 3rd round grade on him. He's not the athlete that you need at receiver. I think the Cowboys receiving room is almost not fast enough as it is. Adding a 4.65 guy to that grouping doesn't make me good enough on that side of the ball. Mike Pena? Will the defense be better than last year is the question. I don't think so. Your defense was top 5, so you're hoping for more of the same. Like, your defense was awesome last year. Hoping it's going to get even better It's probably asking for a little bit too much. What you're hoping is your offense that doesn't collapse and your O-line can actually block when needed, unlike they were at the end of last season. Nick Lanham, is it possible to trade for Chris Lindstrom? And if so, what would it cost? That's the Falcons guard. I haven't paid attention to how good he's been doing. Their O-line sucks as it is. I think Lindstrom's one of their better players. So I'll double check, Nick, but I would say unlikely on that one. For daily Cowboys videos, hit that big red button and subscribe right now, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Justice Kellett, we need DeMarvin Leal in round 2. I don't like him there. I know A&M fans are going to be mad at me when they see my grades for people not named Kenyon Green this year. Leal was not the elite tester he needed to be to justify his tweener traits, and not great production. I got a third on him, so it's not a terrible reach, but he's a defensive tackle for me. I actually think edge is probably where you got to go instead. King Shadow, I see the third round Linderbaum mock in Twitter DMs. Maybe read it off. I'll pull it up real quick here, King. Hold on. So this is from the other super chat about Linderbaum going in the third round. We got Kenyon Green, George Pickens, Sam Williams, Tyler Linderbaum, Jelani Woods, 1, 2, 3, another 3, and a 4th. Congrats, my friend. That is perhaps the most broken mock draft I've seen. Plus, you got my boy Marcus Jones, who they would never take, but who I love. Skitscat, just how pleasured would it make you to have Sam Williams and Micah Parsons beating up an offensive line? As long as Sam's off-the-field stuff is not accurate, which is a weird choice of your words considering what he was charged with and later dropped. The upside's there. I feel great about Williams on-field-wise in the third. Late second's kind of like the opening of his range for me. Prediction time, folks. How many games will the Dallas Cowboys win? Get your predictions in for me in the comments section. Daniel Cash, what about Jalen Tolbert? I'd rather have him over Sky Moore. So I do like Tolbert. I've got Moore above him. They're both, I got an early second on Moore. Let me double check my grade for Tolbert. I think it's a late 2. Got to scroll. Yeah, it's a second, third grade on Tolbert. I like him. I think he's a little bit underrated. Great production against lesser competition. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like how I felt, not so much play style, but like grade-wise on Michael Gallup. And that's kind of like, I get just similar like potential upside. Not necessarily play style, but like value in the NFL of Gallup as I did Tolbert. Last one here from Nick McLean. What would we have to give up to acquire Josie Jewell? Just wondering. Besides Tyler Linderbaum, is there any Iowa players you like? Late day 3, I think. I'm surprised there's no tight ends. Great point there, Jeremy. I think that Tyler Goodson, Spin Shady could make some sense. Beyond that, I'm looking at maybe you have interest in a Dane Belton, I think is the name of the safety. I haven't gotten to him all the way yet, but that could be a good one there. But yeah, it's not the best draft class for Iowa players, especially compared to recent years. Fan-led mock draft round 2. Oh, I forgot to mention the damn question. Josie Jewell, I don't think is really available. And frankly, I want better athletes at linebacker anyway. All right, round 2. 30 seconds here because the poll results are very clear at this point. It is a runaway. Sky Moore leading the way, 53%. Boye Mafe, 23%. Alec Pierce at 9%. Christian Harris at 15%. So I'll give you guys 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sky Moore is going to be the pick here. Notable picks were Roger McCreary out of Auburn to Arizona. Tariq Woolen out of UTSA, the corner to the Patriots. Kyler Gordon, cornerback to the Packers. Jahan Dotson, 52 to the Steelers. And Nick Bonito, 51 to the Eagles. I'm going to pick it here for Sky Moore, end the poll, and then we'll get going in the third round here momentarily. Green Bay picked Kyler Gordon, and New England went Tariq Woolen. I can spell that for you if you need it, Jeremy. All right. Let me get on the board here for we got some picks here, folks. All right, round 3. Some options on the board. We've got, ironically enough, Jalen Tolbert fell, which is interesting. All right, first up is Sam Williams is on the board from Ole Miss. Phidarian Mathis, the defensive tackle from Alabama, is on the board. Sky Moore's the pick. Instant impact receiver. I think he's going to go earlier. I love the player. Early second-round grade for me, which means he might be top 32 when I stack my board finally. Very gifted athlete. I think that would be a great. If he fell to round 2, I am sprinting to the podium to make that selection. All right, I'm going to throw in a different name here. Yeah, Sam Williams, edge, is on the board. It's not a great group of centers here. Phidarian Mathis from Bama is on the board here. I'm going to throw in Jelani Woods, the tight end from Virginia. He's on the board here. And then, let's maybe look at the other edges here. We'll throw in Logan Hall from Houston. He did fall. He's on the board here. So round 3 picks coming in the pin poll right now. UVA. That is the abbreviation. So we got Sam Williams out of Ole Miss, Phidarian Mathis out of Alabama. We got Jelani Woods from Virginia, and Logan Hall from Houston. Other players who I'll make note recently went off the board, by the way. Matt Waletzko out of North Dakota is gone. Verone McKinley, he's gone. Jerome Ford, Greg Dulcich, the tight end. Oh, that would have been a good one for them to try to grab. Ed Ingram is gone. Myjai Sanders is gone. Calvin Austin III is gone. Kingsley Enagbare is gone. So a little mini run on edges. Others who are on the board, Martin Emerson at corner, Rashad White, the running back from Arizona State. The recent picks in round 2, by the way, before the Sky Moore selection, Roger McCreary, Tariq Woolen, and Kyler Gordon. So a little corner run there helped Sky Moore fall to the Cowboys as we're now in the 3rd round. I almost put a safety on here too. Kirby Joseph, who I like a lot. I think Dan Quinn will like him too.
Somebody who I had people asking me about, the safety out of Cincinnati, Cook.
Brian Cook.
What do you think about him?
I think this is around the right range for him back in round 3. He's not the most proven guy. And I think he got overshadowed a little bit as well. So Jelani has no H in his name there. Jeremy. Other than that, though, this is all good. So you can go ahead and push it. It's fine. Round 3 options. Sam Williams, type in SW. Phidarian Mathis, type in PM. Jelani Woods, type in JW. I am surprised to see Logan Hall there. Type in LH. You're
not a lot of
Houston
people
born.
know. Actually related to Logan Paul.
Boo. He's not. SW for Sam Williams, PM for Phidarian Mathis, and JW for Jelani Woods, and then LH for Logan Hall. We'll give you guys some time to make these votes. We'll leave it up as we go through Q&A 2 here in a little bit, and then after Q&A 2 wraps up, it is all about whipping through the rest of this mock. Now, as a reminder, you can stuff the ballot box here. $1 super chat equals 2 votes. So if you throw in a $5 super chat and you mention the player's name, you get 10 votes. So with the way that these votes actually end up working, if you throw in a $50 or $100 super chat, you basically pick the player. So for all of Cowboys Edition, you can rig the election and make it happen. So get those votes coming in and super chat if you want as well to stuff the ballot box here. There you go. We can get to King Shadow's super chat here right now too, who said somewhere Jeff Kavanaugh's having a party. Yeah, I am not as high on Sky Moore as I know Jeff is. That is. No, I love Jeff. I love Jeff. He's a good guy. He is. I golf with him. It's fun. I'm not as high on Sky Moore as Jeff is. That's his guy. I'm not going to infringe on the brand, but I'd be all over Sky Moore end of round 2. If he slides like 40, I'm down to trade up for him too. So yeah, Jeff would be very, very happy on that one. Mailbag time coming up here. Yeah, Yoda's in the chat trying to get people. I see him in there. Mailbag time. Use hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat. Ooh, 169 likes. If you want to get on the show. Yeah, we got him this time. Use hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat if you want to get on the show. Yeah, people like to make fun of my 69 jokes, but it's fun. I like it because I am immature. Hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat if you want to jump the line and get on the show if you haven't already. So get it going. Use those hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat in the comment section. If you don't use hashtag Cowboys, by the way, they don't really show up very well for producer Jeremy to actually find your questions. You're watching the Cowboys Report, which is also on Rumble. If you haven't already followed us, do so. Rumble.com/Cowboys TV. From Vince, would you give all 9 picks for a second Micah at a position of need? Ooh, it's a good one. I think all 9 picks would probably get you to number 1 overall, so you could have your pick. I don't know if you could guarantee me a second Micah, though. Like, if you could promise me if you can promise me a second Micah at like defensive tackle, like basically promise me Aaron Donald, yeah, I'd do that. If you could promise me a second Micah of Tyron Smith for 10 more years, yeah, I'd probably do it. I don't think you can promise me that, however. From Usher Moore, how about drafting Petrie, using Curse at linebacker or running Petrie at slot on first and second down? So you do see Curse play a lot of linebacker. The issue is, I think the Petrie role, how you would deploy him, is basically what you would use Jaron Curse for. I think the overlap is a little bit too similar with what they do best. I think both guys are kind of like deployed similarly to a Tyrann Mathieu, for example, which why that sign doesn't make any sense. So I don't want to run Petrie at slot because I don't think he's going to be a great slot corner. I think he can do some split safety stuff, but you want him deployed like Curse as kind of that modern-day safety linebacker overhang player. I need one of those guys, not 2 of them, though. Matt Sullivan, sign Landry, trade up, and go interior O-line and back-to-back picks. I don't know if you have to trade up, though, in round 1 to get another interior lineman. Now, if you can get me a starting center and a starting guard round 1, round 2, I'm on board with that. I don't see that much value in having Landry on my roster. I think, frankly, I'd rather just draft a receiver in the 3rd and roll with him. If you want to sign Landry too, cool, but his demands of $20 million a year are just absolutely batshit crazy. From Blake the Snake, trade Dalton Schultz. We're back on the trade Dalton bandwagon. I mean, I kind of get it. I don't think they're going to get a long-term deal done with Dalton. That's my theory right now. Now, I will make note that Schultz signed his franchise tender. I believe that came out. I should probably double-check that. Signed his tender. So, in theory, he could be traded for picks. Now, once he signed the tender, it's not a, hey, he did sign it, by the way. It's not a, we're going to get 2 firsts. No, but you can agree to whatever terms you want in a potential trade. Here's the problem you have. If you trade away Dalton Schultz, who the hell is your tight end? You don't have one. So you have to get a premium pick and then spend it on a tight end who probably isn't as good as Dalton Schultz year 1. And yeah, you save money. I bet the Cowboys are going to do that. So there are really 3 options right now with Dalton Schultz. Trade him, send him out, get something back and save some money, pay him on a long-term deal, or keep him on the franchise tag for the time being. Which one would you rather do? Type in T for trade, P for pay, or type in K for keep. From Clinton Bach, hey Tom, tell me why Dak is better than Derek Carr. I mean, I go through all the traits, all the things that Dak Prescott does compared to Derek Carr. What does Carr do that's better than Dak? It's not arm strength. Dak doesn't have an elite arm, neither does Derek. They're both good. You can call it even in that level. Accuracy, pre-snap is way in favor of Dak Prescott. I think it 100% is. I don't see Dak constantly underthrowing receivers and getting bailed out by the officials on Thanksgiving Day. I think that from a leadership standpoint, it's probably better than Dak. Contract's better for Dak now, all of a sudden, by the way. I like Derek Carr a lot. I think he's a good quarterback. He's top 15 guy pretty easily. It's not an anti-Derek Carr campaign, but there's nothing you point to and say, oh, yeah, Derek Carr, he is elite there. There's nothing. You can point to Dak and his pre-snap ability as elite. That's why teams try so damned hard to throw different defenses at him. That's reserved for the really smart QBs. Not anti-Derek Carr, but top 15 versus top 10 QB. Nick Lanham, trade for Cortland Sutton. Broncos have extended him, so no. They are trying to win games right now. You're not going to get one of their receivers for them except, well, maybe KJ Hamler. Hamler could be available for you. From Gabe, hey Tom, watching from AT&T Stadium. Just want to say what's up. And what are some sleepers in the third round? Thanks, Gabe. Glad you're watching. Oh, it's Will McClay. Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Sure. Tell you what, make sure you're subscribed because we will have a sleepers video for the Cowboys at particular positions of need. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button on YouTube or on Rumble and subscribe right now. From Yusa Raymond, what do you think about trading up for Jermaine Johnson, Garrett Wilson? You got to get top 15 for those guys. And that is a lot to go get them. So I like the players a lot. I think from a value cost standpoint, it's probably not going to be a route you really want to end up pursuing. So I like them. It's too expensive there. We're on Rumble if you haven't already followed us, by the way. Free and uncensored content over there as we try to grow to the platforms that you guys use. There's other, beyond chat sports over there. It's sports, comment section, and in the description, rumble.com/Cowboys TV. So if you haven't already, please go follow us. From Vince, Chris Sims said that Thibodeau will fall to 20 or even lower. What do you think? To be honest, and you want to unmute yourself, Jeremy, and say it?
Chris Sims is ass.
He said it, not me. My cat detector's not going off, though. So Chris Sims also said that who was the Louisville running back last year? Javian Hawkins was RB3 over Najee Harris. Sims is not getting information. He also said Kellen Mond was a top 40 QB last year, like immediately, and that was obscene. So, look, if Thibodeau is there at 20, I'm trading up for him because he shouldn't be there. Now, it would maybe mean there's some real off-the-field stuff, but I would be shocked if Thibodeau fell beyond 15 or even 10. Like, he's too good to fall that far. The Lunatic, your dream 4-round Dallas draft, no trades. All right, let's keep it somewhat realistic here. I will go. I'll go one of the guards, Kenyon Green, Zion. Oh, it's my dream mock draft. So Tyler Linderbaum, round 1. I'll go one of those receivers in round 2. Realistic name, who's there? Maybe Alec Pierce. Does that think that's realistic? Maybe George Pickens, round 2. So Linderbaum, Pickens, Sam Williams in the 3rd. Or no, I'm going to pass on the edge. Give me Luke Fortner, Cole Strange, 3rd, 4th round. Potential starters at both guard and center. So I don't need 2 of them. God, I'm doing terrible today. Linderbaum, we'll go George Pickens. I need a guard, so give me someone who slides. Sean Ryan. I was about to say the exact same name there, Jeremy. Sean Ryan in the 3rd. And give me Dominique Robinson, the pass rusher from my alma mater, round 4. That's my dream mock draft. We finally got there. We will do my final mock draft in the days leading up to the actual draft. And I'm planning, by the way, to throw in some undrafted free agents to keep an eye out for. I think I got a good feel for some of the guys the Cowboys might sign. If you want that video, make sure you hit that big red button and subscribe. YouTube.com/Cowboys TV. Hit that big red button and join us. Actually, this one earlier from Musa about Johnson and Garrett Wilson. From Mariners fan, you should draft Zion Johnson. He's number 28 on my top 50. That's about where I have him. I haven't stacked everyone, but he'll be in my top 32 pretty easily. If he's there in round 1, if Treylon Burks is there in round 1, if Kenyon Green is there in round 1, Linderbaum, who I don't think the Cowboys like that much, but I love him. If Drake London, Olave's there, any of those guys, I am totally on board with. I think that fills a big area of need, and the value is right. Elon for Prez. Dak's you could use your name. Dak's cap hit is going to jump. What will Dallas do? This is a good point. The Cowboys have not actually had to pay Dak Prescott a lot of money. So don't let them tell you, oh, the salary cap. Dak's cap at the past years has been less than $20 million both years. Very affordable. Now it's going to balloon. So what you do is you extend him, right? This is the way you should operate when you have your franchise QB, which you do in Dak Prescott. Keep the cap hit low. After this year, maybe look towards extending him. Maybe you restructure and extend him after 2023. The goal there is simple. We all agree you don't want a big cap hit on your QB. That's bad and makes it tougher to do business. So what you do is you consistently take that money and push it out into the future. You don't worry about it. You avoid it. You avoid it. You push it out in the road until your quarterback is bad. And once he's bad, you're going to rebuild for a year or two. And you take the bad cap hit, you get a high draft pick, and you take another new QB. That's the path you should pursue. You never have to have your cap hit this high. You don't have to until you're bad. As long as you're a contender, keep the cap hit low. It has worked every single year for the Saints. No Super Bowl yet, but they've had success. They've been able to be competitive and kept the cap hit low and spent more money than the Cowboys do, right? What I want you guys to do right now is rank Dak among NFL QBs. Let me know in the comments section, and if as one unnamed user I saw in the live chat thinks Teddy Bridgewater is better than Dak Prescott, please go get a drug test. Crazy Seops, thoughts on Josh Pascal? I forgot who said this, but I saw I think it was a day 3 George Karlaftis comp to Josh Pascal, and I'm like, I like that one. They're not bad athletes, but I don't think they bring that burst off the edge that you really, really, really want. At least opposite Tank Lawrence. Would have been a great name had you lost Tank, but I think you're looking for a different style of edge, and he'll probably be a top 100 pick for me on my board. Josh Johnson, wide receiver the Cowboys could trade for. Jeremy says Miles Boykin. But I don't know if they want him. He's not that good. I know the Ravens are kind of done with him. Yeah, I mean, I think you can throw a 5th or a 6th for a lot of different guys out there. Jalen Reagor, if you want to go wild with it, bring him home. Miles Boykin. The Bucks have like 9 receivers, so call about a Tyler Johnson. I'd love Jalen Darden. That'd be fun. Can I get him for a 6th? I'd do it. I would do it. With the Bucks and Cowboys, I don't know. Ryan Merrick, if Dallas traded for Cedric Wilson, will him leaving still count toward the comp pick? It's a great question. I hadn't thought about it until just now, Ryan. I don't think he does, actually. I think that would void. I have no idea how the NFL counts that. It's never happened that I know of. So great question, Ryan. I guess I'll look into that. From Troy Daniels, if Devin Lloyd out of Utah falls to 24, do you pull the trigger on him? I think value-wise is really good value at that point. I don't see linebacker as the level of need as I've got right now for edge and receiver and offensive guard. So I would not be mad at it, but I also think there might be a similarly graded player at a bigger position of need, and that's the route I would probably have to go. I want honest answers on this question. Will the Cowboys win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years? Y for yes, they will. N for no, they will not. Let me know what you guys think ends up happening in the comments section. Y for yes, N for no. All right, let's get to the round 3 here of our fan-led mock draft. The results are first a new question first. Yeah, we'll save it. We'll save it. Yeah, Sam Williams is running away with it as we sit right now, very much in the lead. 56%. You can spam your votes in there. PM for Fidarian Mathis, JW for Jelani Woods, and LH for Logan Hall. So there you go. Yeah. And thank you, Jeremy, for reminding me of this one. $1 super, 2 votes. So 5 is 10. If you put the full player's name, you can stuff the ballot box. We'll let the votes come in for a few more seconds here as we answer Mark's super chat. What free agent good receivers are left and not big money? None. It's not. We were sitting in April now. Like, there's not, like, Jarvis wants big money, and I don't know if he's that good. Like, I don't think that the grouping. He's fine. Hasn't been great though. Odell Beckham is maybe good, but he's probably going back to the Rams and is hurt. Like, he's good if he's healthy. When's he going to be healthy though? That's what I mean. He's good when healthy. When's he going to be healthy? Do you want 200 receivers? Also probably a bit expensive. Julio Jones, is he good anymore? I don't know. Will Fuller? Cole Beasley?
Will Fuller's thighs are made out of cotton candy. Do not get that man.
That's my point, that there aren't any good ones in the end. All right, so I'm going to end the poll here. Sam Williams is the winner. Off the board, pick number 88. Dan Quinn gets his edge rusher here. So we have gone Kenyon Green, Sky Moore, and Sam Williams. All right, let's see who is on the board here. Ooh, okay. Cowboys on the clock, round 4. Jelani Woods is still there, by the way, Jeremy. You can keep him on there. Sam Williams, there is the off-the-field stuff that you gotta vet at this point, which I think is pretty. Yeah, Woods is still there. I like Sam Williams' talent, on the field. If you trust the off-the-field stuff, it's easily Googleable what he was charged with and then had later dropped. That's super intriguing. But there you go. All right, on the board still here. Okay. Let's see what centers we got. All right, Luke Fortner's there. That's my guy. Luke Fortner from Kentucky. Put him on there. I've got the tight end in Jelani Woods. Not loving anything else. Defense, I'll go John Ridgeway if you want a nose guard, but I don't love that value. And it sucks that he went off the board a couple picks earlier. It's not great. I'm gonna do Terrell Bernard from Baylor at linebacker. The safeties are gone. They're gone. Yusuf Corker and Sterling Weatherford and Smoke Monday. The safeties are gone. They're all gone. They've all disappeared. There was a run on them back end, or I guess I should say mid third, and they've all disappeared. They're all gone. I'm just not gonna get a safety for myself. All right, Terrell Bernard, Baylor is your other option. So those 4 going in right now in the live poll. Yeah, it is Terrell. 1 L, and then Bernard, yeah. Yeah, just like Andy Bernard, exactly right. That pin poll is in there right now. Jelani Woods, Luke Fortner, John Ridgeway, and Terrell Bernard. Those are your 4 options. As we're now into day 3, we will go a little bit quicker on these. We'll keep it 5 minutes max. As Roger says, we're killing this draft. We should be in the war room. I agree. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could just take the good players who fell? If only it was that simple. I'll shout out just some recent picks here, Jeremy. Oh, our recent picks by the Cowboys. Kenyon Green, round 1, number 24 overall. Sky Moore, round 2, number 56 overall. And Sam Williams, round 3 out of Ole Miss. So I've got what I think is, if not day 1 starters, with maybe Williams being a rotation piece, I got 3 guys that are going to contribute to me right away. Here are the picks available in round 4. Players on the board, I should say, in round 4. Jelani Woods, tight end from Virginia, who I mentioned in the 3rd round. He was, I think, 2nd or 3rd in the voting. I don't remember. Maybe I can scroll up here. See. He was 2nd in the voting last time around with 20% of it. He is dominating right now. 73% of the live poll are voting for Jelani Woods. Chris Hinton out of Michigan went in the 4th. Okay. Right before this round. Do you want the 3rd rounders? 128. Chris Hinton, number 128. Wan'Dale Robinson, 127. Yeah. Rashad White, 126. And shockingly here, Darian Kennard, 125. He slid a long way. Chris Hinton. Let me pull it up here. Make sure you're not doing anything wrong. Me and Jeremy are building all our graphics right now on the fly. This is your little this is your preview of what's happening with this year's draft. You know, it might be Christopher in the database. There it is. It's Christopher Hinton. Figured it out. Yeah, I got them here. I got Rashad White.
While Tom's putting that in, I have another question for you guys.
Bonk. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, put it in, Tom.
There, it's in.
Who is the biggest bust in Cowboys history? Tom, bonk.
Taco's up there with like the remembrance of who it could have been. Like that one hurt. Because you could have had TJ Watt. Now you might not have had Micah Parsons in this weird scenario, but Taco hurt. I think Bobby Carpenter hurt. What you gave up to go get Morris Claiborne hurt. That was all rough. All right, I'll give you guys 30 more seconds. But at this point, Jeremy, I think we have a runaway in favor of Jelani Woods. 76% of the vote. So I'll give you guys till 4:08 on my watch. It's 4:07 right now. Someone said Quincy Carter, which he was a second rounder, though. He definitely was a bust, but there were worse first-round players. Someone said Ryan Leaf. He was the biggest bust who played for the Cowboys, but he wasn't a Cowboys pick, so I'm going to kind of ignore that one. Got a couple more seconds here. Get those votes in for who you want in round 4. It's the pin poll right now on YouTube. Jelani Woods, 76%. Luke Fortner, 17%. John Ridgway, 5%. And Terrell Bernard at 2%. These are the 4 picks before the Cowboys got on the clock. Darian Kennard, Rashad White, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Christopher Hinton were the 4 picks. So maybe you could have double-dipped at receiver, but really not in the end. It is time for it. We're going to go with Jelani Woods is the pick here by the Cowboys in the 4th round. You got to love the value you got here for Dallas. Oh, my guy Zach Tom just went. Back into the 4th. It's okay. It's okay. The center options were not what we were hoping for in the end. And I didn't want to take a center there. All right. So we're now in the 5th round. Round 5, number 155. Let me get some options on the board here for you guys. We're not going punter, Jeremy. All right. Let's see what we got. We took care of tight end. We're not putting Cade York at the top of the 5th round, Jeremy. Not yet.
If you want Tom to put Cade York on there, spam York right now. If you spam York enough, we're going to put him in this option for the first 5th round pick. If you want a kicker, spam kicker or York. Go ahead, light up the chat. Let Tom know what the Cowboys want to do.
I hate you, Jeremy.
Get in the comments. Let him know.
Look, I will say, I am surprised by the way this has gone, but Luke Fortner's still there. He's still on the board in round 5. I got Haskell Garrett out of Ohio State. I can spell that for you, too, if needed, Jeremy.
Haskell.
E-L-L. We'll throw in a linebacker here, JoJo Doman. All right. I am getting bullied on my own show. Cade York, kicker, LSU. Those are your 4 options. I don't want to influence the picks too much, but Luke Fortner's there in the 5th round. And he can at least push Tyler Biadasz to be your starting center. So get the votes in. Luke Fortner, Haskell Garrett, JoJo Doman, Cade York, after the Cowboys took Jelani Woods in JoJo Doman, Domann. And I'm going to put some recent picks that just went in here. Mann. He is a linebacker from Nebraska. I'm putting in some recent picks as well. Hassan Haskins is off the board. Alex Wright just went off the board. Pierre Strong Jr. is off the board. And there's John Ridgway who just went off the board too. Zeke replacement, Jeremy says. Cade York's in 2nd right now. Just so we're clear, I know what's going to happen is that York's going to be picked after this one. Get those votes in the pin poll right now. Luke Fortner, Haskell Garrett, JoJo Doman, Cade York are the 3 that are on the board as we sit right now. Cade has an E in his name, by the way. Yeah, I see it. Big L. Yeah, also Cade has an E in his name. Yeah, we're talking about kickers. I know, right? What's even going on anymore here? What a time to be alive. 69% are voting for Luke Fortner, 6% for JoJo Doman, and 9% for Haskell Garrett.
A reminder.
That's nice.
A reminder, guys. You can overturn the decision with a super chat. If you want Cade York, a 50-piece, I think, would do it.
It would. It would do it. It would secure it for Cade York.
It would secure a Cade York selection if anybody is inclined to draft a kicker with the first 5th round pick and ruin Tom's night.
For the record, I think it's a horrible idea because Fortner's there.
I'm just saying.
He's right there, man. Just do it. Take him. Sprint to the podium with it. It ain't that hard.
You can make your dreams a reality if you want Cade York.
No one do it. We'll leave it up here until 4:14. And you can also vote in the comments. CY for Cade York, by the way, there, Chugs. HG for Haskell Garrett. CY for Cade York. LF for Luke Fortner. And JD for JoJo Doman, the linebacker who was like basically an edge, or like a nickel corner at Nebraska. Really weird career there he had with like his role there.
CY.
There are a lot of CYs.
Get him in there.
There are a lot of CYs.
Somebody super chat.
But Luke Fortner is the leader right now with 67% of the vote.
Somebody super chat for York. We need this.
I am begging you guys
need this.
to not spend your first. I know you're going to take a kicker. I know you're going to do it. I know it. At some point. And I will.
Muology, make my dreams a reality.
I will make you guys a promise too. If we don't go kicker in round 5, maybe I'll do only kickers in the 6th round as the poll options. Have some fun with it. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just do kicker overall, and then I'll let you pick all 6 there in the end. So, super chat from Elijah Williams. We'll hit that real quick here, and then we'll announce the pick for the first of the 4 5th-round selections. Elijah says, can we all take a moment to remember Jerry put salt on his McGriddle? Yeah, that was weird, by the way. Like, you don't need more salt on that food. Oh, yeah, it's King Shadows, too. Elijah, I remember it. It was very weird. King Shadow, Catboy is the biggest Cowboys bust. No contest. Does this count as 2 votes or 4 votes for Stephen Jones as the pick in round 5?
With all the random illegitimate kids, wouldn't Jerry be the biggest bust?
Bonk?
Canceled.
Bonk, indeed. All right, as we're going to call it here in a minute, last chance to vote. Luke Fortner has 62% of the vote.
Just a reminder, you
Cade
can send
York
in a super.
Has 16%.
Just a reminder, you can send in a super, get Cade York on the Cowboys.
Haskell Garrett has 14% of the vote, and JoJo Doman has 8%. So I'm going to call it Luke Fortner is your winner here off the board in the 5th round. I love it. I think it's a home run pick. Now we're going to get our new one going. So this next pick only comes a handful of picks later, which is interesting in terms of how things have changed. JoJo Doman, actually, I'm going to do this first. Before we get to the announcement here, because this I think is very noteworthy of how the board just fell. That is the wrong spot, by the way. I messed this up. Hold on. I put him in the wrong spot. Hold on. There we go. Now we're better. Okay. Recent picks off the board right before the Cowboys after they took Luke Fortner. Haskell Garrett went to the Eagles. Chasen Hines went to the Raiders. JoJo Doman also off the board. And Michael Wright. That last 4 should be in there in a second, Jeremy. This is, 155 for Luke Fortner. Sorry, I didn't put that in there. My bad. I know. I messed it up there. So Fortner's the pick here in the 5th round, the first of their 5th round picks. Unfortunately, a lot of players are now off the board for the Cowboys with Garrett, Doman, all off the board. So Fortner's the pick. He's played guard and center. I've got like a 3rd round grade on him. So to get him in the 5th, am I breaking the sim? Maybe. People are talking about me breaking it, but is what it is. as things sit right now, here are the Cowboys picks. Kenyon Green, Sky Moore, Sam Williams, Jelani Woods, and now Luke Fortner. All right, other players who are on the board for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's look at offense here. Throw in Danny Gray, wide receiver from SMU. He is in there. We'll do Cade York again from LSU for you guys. I'm a man of the people. I'll throw in, maybe you want to try Max Mitchell as a potential offensive tackle swing down the road out of Louisiana. And then I got to get a defensive player on here, make sure I'm not missing anybody really good. Got an edge linebacker. Oh, it's not a great group of linebackers. It's not good. I'll throw in this name because I like him quite a bit. And then we had a super chat on it too. There we go. Pick options are in. We've got I never have to left here. We've got DeMarco Jackson from App State, Cade York, LSU, Danny Gray, SMU, Max Mitchell on the board at the offensive tackle spot, who I think could be your swing long term and maybe just enough to be a potential starter for you down the road. But the tackle options they're not great when you're here in the 5th round. So Fortner's your most recent 5th round pick. Now we got one at 167, then 176, 178. This is the range, Jeremy, where I think Cade York could go. This is the opportunity here. I also threw in DeMarco Jackson, who I know you like quite a bit at App State. I do too. I think a lot of the Sims are undervaluing him, so I want to put him in there as opposed to like the third Penn State linebacker for some reason.
I think that's a guy where you see if he falls into the right system. I personally would love the fit with him and the Steelers, a late round pick. Get him with Brian Flores. Get him under Mike Tomlin. That defense, already a well-established defense. Kind of similar with Dan Quinn. You know, he brings in his guys. He's able to get the most out of some of his guys. If you can bring him in and kind of bring him up to speed on the mental side, he's already there on the athletic side.
Yeah. All right. As we sit right now, 73 votes are in, or at least that's 173. Sorry, math. DeMarco Jackson leads the way, 32%. Cade York, 29%. Max Mitchell, 21%. Danny Gray, 17%. So this is the closest it's been by a wide margin, so I think I did a good job of the picks here. Let's get to the 2 super chats, by the way. Gary Sane and King Shadow 24 have all put in their particular requests here. Gary's talking about Jackson, the linebacker, out of App State. I think it does count as 4 votes. It came in before, so maybe we'll just count it as a 2 extra, or the tiebreaker if we need it. How about that? It'll be the tiebreaker if needed. It's 30-29%. It is so tight. Bonk. Athletically, he's really good at his size. Almost 6'1", 233. Darren Lee comp, athletically, remember him out of Ohio State, the linebacker who was a first-round pick a couple years ago?
Did the Jets take him?
Yes, Jets took him, and he was on the Chiefs, and he wasn't very good. But athletically, he was really impressive, so it's fine. He's so fast out there on field. Great production, 120 tackles, 19 TFLs. 5th-round grade for me. So this is exactly where I think he should go. I think people might be a bit higher on him than even I am. King Shadow says, guys, I drafted Linderbaum in the 3rd. I broke the sim first. All right. We got a super chat, by the way, from Clinton Bach. He's throwing in $10, 20 extra votes to draft Cade York. Now, Jeremy, this is super tight as Max Mitchell is now gaining ground. Stop it. Bonk, 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 bonk. I'm going to have to do the manual math on this one. I'm going to get my Excel sheet up here.
Manual math,
Mitch, to figure out exactly like what the numbers are going to be here. So, no, I don't care about what's new in Excel. I don't care at all. Right now it is 30% DeMarco Jackson, 27% Cade York, 18% Danny Gray, as Excel's frozen on me because of course it did. 24% Max Mitchell. So this is an extra 20 votes in favor of Cade York. I'm going to murder Excel in my sleep. 31% DeMarco Jackson. We're going to leave this open for a little bit longer if you haven't already, just so I can get this damn computer to work properly. Because it is, it's so close as we sit right now. I think this is enough to put it in favor of Cade York.
I think this is the most bonkable moments in a 5-minute span
It
that
definitely
I've ever
is.
heard from Tom.
It definitely is.
It's so close.
Yeah.
It's so tight.
No doubt about it.
We're almost there.
That's all true. Oh, he put in another 10. All right. Clinton Bach has come flying in and has said, I want Cade York in the 5th round. That's 40 votes. This is what happens in democracy. You can rig the election. There's a lot of bonkable phrases in there too, which I find quite funny. So it is actually tied now as it sits, and Cade York has actually just jumped ahead. Even not including the super chats from Clinton Bach, it's come in a very narrow race, too close to call. You're right, Vince. 29% Cade York, 29% DeMarco. We don't have a photo for Cade York? Are you serious? No way. No way we don't have a photo for Cade York. Everyone boo Brett. Do we even have a photo for Cade York in the comments? Oh, now we got a $10 for DeMarco Jackson. So we're going to leave this open here. Right now, it is basically by 20 votes, because now I can cancel out one of the supers. Cade York's still winning.
I almost called the vote, but then we had to recount all the votes from Arizona. So we're going back. We're leaving it up there. We gotta see what the final vote is gonna be.
There you go, Jeremy. I'm gonna get a photo for Cade York though here. I got this. Cade York is winning the outright vote right now. 30%. Oh no, 29% to 28% of DeMarco Jackson. There, that should get it there in a second for you on the photo.
Oh, I never pulled up.
Richard says this is bonkers, rigged election, still mail-in ballots coming in, and now we got another $10 super chat from Zach Taylor. I know he wants DeMarco Jackson. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to request that we stop the super chat race here. And now Gary's 20, and I got $25 on DeMarco Jackson. What is going on here? Absolute chaos in the 5th round of the people bidding against each other to secure their guy in the 5th round. Gary Sane has thrown in $20 in favor of Action Jackson. Jay Elam has thrown in DeMarco for $25 as well. I'm going to put this up for a minute, and then I'm going to stop it. I'm going to make a call.
I may not even be old enough for this joke, but I get it. History minor over here. We got to watch out for all the hanging chads in Florida. The hanging chads. Recount.
The poll itself right now is 28% Cade York, 27% DeMarco Jackson, 23% Max Mitchell, 22% Danny Gray, and now Zach is spamming money for DeMarco Jackson. He's about to get caught in the live poll anyway. I think we've got some shambles right now for my poor guy Clinton Bach, who felt great about securing Cade York. Now I got it up for 15 seconds. Yeah, Hunter comes in, we'll lock it. This is not the way I thought this was going to go. Just absolutely insane here. I'll sip some water. My gross-looking water. And it looks weird. I know it does.
It looks like
it looks what it looks like. I know. All right, I'm gonna stop it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm ending the poll. We're gonna give it to DeMarco Jackson. The Cowboys have another pick coming up very soon. So if you really wanted Cade York, I still think you're gonna have your chance. But I'm gonna go with DeMarco Jackson as the pick here after. Zach Taylor and Jay Elam and Gary Sane all came through with big-time investments to secure this man, DeMarco Jackson, in the 5th round at linebacker, which, for the record, I love the pick. I think it's a great one.
Safe to say, the Cowboys draft DeMarco Jackson. Tom's going to do a boot.
I don't know about that. But
Tom's doing a boot if they take DeMarco Jackson.
If that's how it goes down. Okay, so picks have come in.
for 176. Good news, everyone. The only change was that DeMarco Jackson is, of course, no longer on the board. So all the other players that were in that narrow race last time are still available. That's Cade York, Danny Gray, Max Mitchell, and I am now going to throw in just best player available. Okay, best player available on their board is another pass rusher. That is D'Angelo Malone, the edge from Western Kentucky. It's D'Angelo, like Vickers from The Office. D-E, Angelo. And then Malone, like the basketball player. Exactly. You were Western Kentucky. You were confused with my earlier Office reference, so I didn't want to make it even more confusing for you. Now remember, after this pick, the Cowboys have one at 178 as well. So we can go quick on these two, and I'll give you guys a new chance as I stop the sex bots in here. Banned. Early results, 50% going Cade York right now. 50% in favor of the LSU kicker. Danny Gray's got 5%. Max Mitchell has 34% as we sit right now. So get your votes in. DG, CY, MM, or DM in the comments right now.
That's a great name, D'Angelo Malone.
D'Angelo Malone. He's undersized, but he's a really good athlete, by the way, which I think is pretty fun. There you go. Zach is now voting in favor of Cade. He felt bad. He was going to be there. He was going to fall to you. It's a kicker. Just double checking, seeing who I'm going to adjust next time around here.
Do you think DeMarco Jackson would have made it those 8 or 9 picks?
Maybe he would have made it to you. I would feel better about the kicker more so than the linebacker in the end. So there were some super chats. I want to get to those here. Oh, now Jay Elam's throwing in 5 for Max Mitchell. That's 10 votes, and that makes it a little bit tighter. First off, let's recap the picks so far. Some super chats as your votes come in the pinned poll. Vote in there. And I'm sorry, Dallas8 9 scapegoat, that you missed the website for the hot girls. I'm sorry. Definitely wouldn't have given you a virus, I promise you. It would. Yeah, rumble.com/CowboysTV. There you go. Kenyon Green in round 1. Sky Moore in round 2. Sam Williams in round 3. Jelani Woods in the 4th round. Luke Fortner with one of their 5th rounders. And DeMarco Jackson with their other 5th rounder, part of an absolute wild war between a variety of people super chatting to see who would end up being the pick. Now, we have a $5 super chat that has come in for Max Mitchell and a $2 super chat that has come in for Cade York. The poll results right now are 47% in favor of Cade York, 8% in favor of Danny Gray, 33% Max Mitchell, and 12% D'Angelo Malone. So that's 10 picks, 10 votes for Max Mitchell, and 4 votes for Cade York. So it is a difference of 6 right now in favor of Mitchell. It is a 2-man race. We'll give it another maybe 2 minutes here. Danny Gray, DG, I don't know why I consistently find a way to do that wrong. CY for Cade York, MM for Max Mitchell, DM for D'Angelo Malone. I will make note right now that the votes are not enough. The $10 super chat, which is a difference of 6 right now, is not enough to jump Max Mitchell ahead of Cade York right now. It's not quite enough. Another 5. All right. We're getting wild. Let me get my math up here. It's 48% in favor of Cade York, 31% in favor of Max Mitchell, 12 for D'Angelo Malone, and 10 for Danny Gray. As Jay Elam, he wants some offensive line help. He wants that real bad. So let me get organized here if you want to talk for a little bit, Jeremy, while I do the figuring out here.
Oh, yeah. So 4 options, like we said. Danny Gray, Tom loves him. I like him out of SMU. Shifty wide receiver. What is he, 5'11"?
Yeah, he's a little bit undersized, but he's a great vertical threat.
Yeah. Max Mitchell. Ooh, this is close. This is a close one.
Yeah, I'm checking my math here. And then Clinton's coming through, $20. This pick will be Cade. Clinton really wants Cade York on the Cowboys in today's fan-led mock draft. I'm going to stop the math on that front here. What the trend has been, a lot of votes for Cade, and somebody comes through last second to jump in. It's interesting.
All right.
So Clinton Bach, he wants Cade York real bad.
I have the clock up. 40 seconds and counting.
Okay.
If anybody else wants to put in anything for Max, Jay Elam!
We're going back and forth. Another $20 super chat. How about someone gets me a beer? I feel like I should do some drinks and shots maybe here to say thanks.
That'd
Jay
be good.
Elam, beef up the O-line, Max. So we're still up with that was 20 votes in total. The 20 supers cancel each other out. We're about 14 votes in favor of Max Mitchell here.
Get those votes in.
I think I got to do the math again here. This is tight.
This is like, have you ever been to an auction, Tom?
Yes, it is.
It's riveting. It's 45, 45.
There we go. Let's crack open a little bit here.
Brings in the beer.
There you go. All right, 97. Let's do. I'm doing some math here to see like what we got going on here.
Guys, sorry, math is not Tom's strong suit.
It is not my strong
It's gonna take
suit.
a minute.
It's not. The formula's not working.
It's close.
Musa says refuse to get a kicker Max Mitchell in there.
Oh, I think that might have swung it.
That swings it over the top because right now it's basically 28 to 46 is how like it evens out there. So with the extra, it is about 45 votes. It is in favor of Max Mitchell. So 30 more seconds. Clinton Bach, I'll make note. There's a pick coming up in two more here. 176, 178. The Jets have two kickers. So they're not going to take Cade York. He will be there at 178 for you. So I'm going to let this go for 30 seconds here. Someone's spamming him, Adam Anderson. I cannot take a guy who's facing a rape charge. Sorry. Clinton says the last I can do. Cade, come on. Another 20. All right, let me add. Okay, I got to get the math here. I got to get the math.
Clinton, you're like Rocky right now. We think you're down. You're in the corner.
All right, let's think here. So we got Cade. I'm doing all the math here on the fly. This might be enough for Cade York to pull it off.
Clinton Bach coming out of like a phoenix from the ashes. We thought it was done. We thought it was dead.
Checking the math. Stand by.
Standing by.
Okay, so right now it is an extra. It is an extra 4 votes in favor of Cade York. And that is just with the super chats right now. So it is. We're gonna call it.
We got
20 votes.
10-second countdown.
Let's call it 30 because there's always the delay here. It is a almost on the nose right now. It is a 20 vote difference in favor of Cade York.
Says stop the count.
30 seconds and Balk done. We will run through the picks here in a minute. 30 seconds. Start the clock, Jeremy. As there's another 10 for Max Mitchell to cut the lead down to 10. We got a 10 difference here. All right, and I'm gonna drink for 30 seconds ish, or maybe I'll pound the beer.
Yeah, just pound it.
And then we're gonna call it. It is still in favor of Max Mitchell or of Cade York by right on the nose. Call it 11. Call it 11. So bottoms up. Here we go. And by the way, I can't chug for shit.
Oh, that was a great
right
one.
Off the start.
That was a great
spilling.
one.
Right off the start. Yeah, rough right there.
Oh my God.
It's cold.
Oh, we have another 5 for Cade.
With 5.
Oh, I think it might be Cade. And then
Max.
another 5 for Max.
There we go. Does someone want to get my Jack Daniels for me too?
Hey, can we get some Jack Daniels in here?
Jeremy, it's very cold. By the way, I was not ready for coldness.
Hey, Tyler.
It's very cold beer. Good beer, though. Cowboys beer sponsor. All right. Light beer is the best. Get a pen and pop a hole in the bottom. Yeah, I also bad at shotgunning. All right. I think it's time to call it, Jeremy. It's Cade York. That's the winner.
Cade York?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Another 5?
Another 5 for Max. Shoot, and I got to do the math again here. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. Hold on. Stand by. I'm checking the math and the votes and the totals and everything. It is not enough. It's not enough. It is Cade York. I'm ending the poll. 176. The pick is Cade York. Now, Jay Elam, I'm going to go pick Cade York. All right, in the sim. And we'll see who the Jets take. Oh, no. Nah, they didn't. I'm fucking with you guys. He's on the board. Max Mitchell is still there. So the last round 5 pick here. Let's put it up here. Max Mitchell is still going to be there. And if it is even close, by the way, I think we're going to give the advantage to Max Mitchell, who's already got a vote in. Danny Gray is there. Still in the 5th round. We're going to go with... I'm going to give you... I'm going to send you the name of how to spell it. It's Otito Ogbania is the guy who's on the board here. Mm-hmm. Cade says, I need to thank you for all the Cade fans. Clinton Box MVP, and along with everyone else who's super chatting here. Let me get you the link. I'm trying to find your name. There we go. Defense tackle UCLA. yeah, under our previous messages that just look wild. Oh, shoot. All right, and then D'Angelo Malone was the best guy on the board here still. All right, I think we'll come crashing back down to earth here. I would hope. Make the pick. We'll give you guys a couple minutes. We have the photo now for Cade York. They went kicker. You guys went the kicker. You tried to get him the entire time, and it ended up working out at the very end. So Clinton, Jeremiah, J. Elam, Mark, J. Elam, Clinton, J. Elam, Clinton, Musa, J. Elam, Clinton, J. Elam, Zach. Defensive tackle from UCLA. Musa, J. Elam, Clinton, J. Elam, Zach Taylor, Mark, J. Elam, Zach, everyone, Gary Sane, who all super chatted to get your votes in. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that, and I think people have had some fun today. So, it is like an auction. I'll do a shot for all the super chats that have come in too. Do you want to come up here while we do it? You want to do a shot? Big shot. Yeah. All right. Max Mitchell has 62% of the vote right now. Well, it's down to 59% on the last update. Uh-oh. Now, I will say we had a $2 one from Jeremiah, so it's 4 more votes in favor of Max Mitchell, so it's a little bit in his favor, 60% now. Very funny, by the way, to see Danny Gray go from having like 28% of the vote earlier to having 6% right now, which I find interesting. I think people feel bad about the Max Mitchell and Cade York shenanigans there. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I got it all the way filled up. I owe you guys that much at least. You guys are awesome. Come on up, Chugs. He's wearing all Adidas today. Fun fact.
Sorry, I didn't bring my Skechers.
I have no Adidas on. This is Under Armour. I don't know what brand this is, and Puma. The bottom. Bottoms up. There we go. Yeah, Brandon says he voted for Danny Gray earlier and is now going for Max for everyone else. So I'll put this up for like 2 more minutes, maybe. What, you don't like Jack? Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Jack's good. You can get some Jaeger for the draft if you want. I like Jaeger. Jaeger's my stuff because I'm a weird person. Yeah, let's throw a Clinton Box super chat here real quick. Ryan says he loves, so the super chat player who loses has been the next picked. Yeah, that works out pretty well in the end, I think. It would have been really funny if the Jets actually... let's just go with the Clinton Bach one and then some of the more recent ones. I need to thank you for all the Cade fans. Everyone thank Clinton. He threw in a lot there to secure Cade York at number 176. So thank you, my friend. I'm going to call it here. I'm going to give the Cowboys Max Mitchell at the Louisiana offensive tackle, number 182. And Jay Elam coming through again to secure it with a $5 super chat. And Jacob said that was a real man shot right there. Jack goes down pretty smooth for me. I don't know why. It just does. I like it. It's good. All right, Max Mitchell's the pick. Thank you, Jay Elam. Thank you, Jacob. And now we are back on the clock. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Guess who went off the board at 192? Danny Gray. Sniped by Minnesota off the board. So give me some time here. This is the final pick of the Cowboys fan-led mock draft. Make the pick in the 6th round. Let's see who is on the board. All right, if you want more offensive line help, Thayer Munford, the versatile offensive lineman out of Ohio State, is on the board. Ooh, okay. How about this name? I'm surprised he's here. Amare Barno, who ran the I will send you the names. These are, I am not picking the easy names for Jeremy right now to do it on his end, so I apologize for that. Let's see. We've got, kind of want to throw a running back in here. Who's good? Oh, okay. You guys might like this one. Abram Smith out of Baylor. I'll get a little bit of a local flair in there for you. And that's that is the running back who was also like kind of sort of a like linebacker briefly. And I'll throw in another receiver here because I like this kid. Bo Melton is also on the board. Oh, let me see what safeties are there. Hold on. There are no good safeties. This makes me sad. And Bo Melton. Fatties only. Where's Neal Farrell? Oh, he is there. He is there. Look, we took a guard already. So let's dump Thayer Munford. He's not that good anyway. For Neal Farrell Jr. out of LSU. Yeah, I will give credit to King Shadow for throwing in that one in there. Feel free to put some other names in the live chat before I finalize this, and if they're there, I'll plug them in here. Zach had asked about a running back, any safeties. Marquise Bell is gone. Your next best guy is like Scott Nelson, Bubba Bolden, who sucks. Like it's not great. I'm pretty upset that there are no safeties. Makes me sad. Abram Smith, return specialist, is someone that they're looking for. I think Bo Melton fits that mold pretty well. I see the bots. I'm taking care of them. Let me double check that Melton did some return stuff at Rutgers. I thought he did in my notes. Stand by. Yeah. Some, not much. I think he could be a return guy for you. Let me double check my receivers. If there's a better return guy, I'll throw him in there. Unfortunately, the best return man this year is off the board. 2 picks earlier in Marcus Jones, which makes me sad. Yeah, people are asking about D-line. Okay, here are the 4. Someone asked about Clemens at the edge from A&M. He's gone too, so I didn't put him on there. Your 4 options. Neal Farrell out of LSU. Amare Barno out of Virginia, who ran the record time for an edge rusher, and that's kind of all of his game. Abram Smith out of Baylor, and Bo Melton. Now, Melton didn't do that much as an actual return man, but I think his traits are really good to potentially be one. Like the way he was used he got some carries. He offers, coverage duties. So, Neal Farrell, big-time defensive tackle, run stopper, who I'm one of the highest people I know on Neal Farrell, by the way. Abram Smith, who's the running back and offers special teams value as a former linebacker. Bo Melton could be your return guy. And Amare Barno, who is super fast, and that's kind of his whole game. So these are your 4 options. Vote in the live poll. NF for Neal Farrell, AS for Abram Smith, BM for Bo Melton, and AB for Amare Barno, the edge out of Virginia Tech. Get those votes in here, and I agree. It is a tearjerker, Jeremy. The super chat from Clinton here. We'll get that pulled up in a minute. Maybe resize the text just so it fits, just for this one. I know we're not supposed to do that, but it's okay for this one. Clinton says, Hey, can you make it rap? There we go. Hey, Tom, I've been watching for about 3 years, and I'm just now in a place I can show support. I've tuned in almost every video for 3 years. Just want to say thank you, Tom. Tuned in to super fan. Big thank you, Tom. Shit, Clinton, thank you. I mean, that's one of the nicer things I've seen on the show, and not that you guys aren't great, but that's super nice, and that is a tearjerker, as Jeremy said. So thanks, Clinton. I really appreciate that, and thank you. Really, really great to hear, and I'm glad you're in a place where you're able to do that. So thank you, Clinton. You don't need to thank me. I thank you guys and everyone else who's out here watching and supporting the show. King Shadow Man says Fatties only refuses to die. I know we're going from this to that, and it's somehow very on brand. I have no transition that can work from like super serious and nice and awesome to Fatties only. I got nothing in the bag for how to handle that transition. But King's right. Fatties only does refuse to die. Aldo says I'm voting for these guys even though I don't know jack about them. Yeah, welcome to day 3. I mean, that's why I spend all my free time, doing my study and research on these guys. Like, if you're a fan of one of these teams, you know who they are. Beyond that, I don't know, like if anyone else knows really who they are. Heavy votes in favor of Neal Farrell Jr. I like Bo Melton a lot too. What grade? I have a 5th round grade on him. I don't know where he's at for you, Chugs, but I like him.
I'm getting a vibe that we're going positional need right now.
Yes, on my board, I actually got Farrell higher. I gave him a 4th. He reminds me of a bigger Antoine Woods. And I think that's a good player. I'll read off my notes for your guy Melton, though. He's not the level of prospect, but he could be used like Percy Harvin. And athletically, that's how he tested, too. I gave him the Andre Roberts athletic comp, who I think could be a special teamer for you, too. Let me get to my notes for Abram Smith, because I did those, too.
He's a powerful running back, right?
Yeah, he running back to linebacker to running back at Baylor, which is super, super unusual. 48 tackles and 5 tackles for loss in like a handful of games in 2020, and then ran for 1,600 yards in 2021 for Baylor. I don't know how great he's going to be as a pure runner. He was a battering ram after contact. He doesn't have great speed. He's not the blocker you would expect. Chris Ivory, athletic comp. And I think kind of fits his play style pretty well, too, if you guys remember him. That's the Baylor runner. Yeah, who was he was pretty good in the NFL, relatively speaking. Amari Barno, I gave him a 6th-ish. He is your speed, length, upside prospect, where he's 6'5", almost, 246, 34-inch arms, 4.36 40. And you would think a guy that fast, that long would have great stats, right? 3.5 sacks this year. Pressure rate was kind of just okay. I think he's just speedy, but in the 6th round, you take that guy, as far as I'm concerned. Jay Elam, the super chat, says Fatties only. And Red Hurricane says thoughts on Charleston Rambo. Now, I think this is, of course, a Miami Hurricanes fan. I gave him a 6th round grade. Depending on which game you watch, you'd be like, this guy's awesome, or this guy's not a college player. Michigan State, who was the worst defense in college football, he abused them. I mean, he absolutely worked them. But against Bama, he got worked. And as a not great 40-yard dash and undersized guy, he tested okay. He's really skinny, and I don't see the play strength. Where once the corner gets their hands on him, he's kind of screwed. There is kick return value. The production was impressive. The trivia question today, Jeremy, who is the Miami Hurricanes' all-time leading receiver in a single season?
Andre Johnson?
You would think like an Andre Johnson, right? Or a Michael Irvin. It's Charleston Rambo.
In a single season?
Yeah, with 1,172 yards. Not what you would expect, right? But welcome to life in college football. So we have enough votes in. I think we can call it here. Neal Farrell is the pick for the Dallas Cowboys in round 6. I think in the graphics, Jeremy, you got to throw in Junior, by the way, too. Or else it will not work right. But we'll double check that here. Do you want to do the full recap now, or do you want to do it outside of live? On the outside? That sounds good to me. So that is it. We'll run through the picks here one time quickly. I'll have our recap video available once we're all said and done. Once we get everything organized, double check our graphics, etc. But great job, guys. I had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast as well. Here are the picks. We'll mention Neal Farrell here quickly. Run stopping, defensive tackle, fatties only, gets to live, baby, as Farrell's the final pick here. So to recap, all the picks here one time quickly for the Cowboys, then we'll call it a day and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Kenyon Green, Sky Moore, Sam Williams, Jelani Woods, Luke Fortner, DeMarco Jackson, Cade York, Max Mitchell, and then rounding it out, finally, was Neal Farrell Jr. in round 6, number 193 overall. Things got wild in the 5th round, and I really do appreciate everyone who had some fun and super chatted here. So stick around. More Cowboys videos coming for you guys in the near future. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that big red button, and we'll see you guys again with another video